You know your deep psychological self-hatred is probably making it very difficult to make things easy for yourself. So I'm going to force you to learn how to play these different chord voicings in a way that is easy, because I know a lot of times when you're starting out, you're like, how do I do these different shapes and kind of move all over the place? And it's really hard to contort your hand in these shapes, right? So we're going to use very, very simple hand groupings to go through all of these main chords that you might ever need. Some of them fancy, some of them not fancy, and we're just gonna start rocking it out, okay? So we're gonna do this in two keys. We're gonna start off in the people's key, the key of G, all right? We're gonna play all the chords in the key of G, and some of these are even gonna sound fancy. And the funny thing is, the fancier chords are actually easier the way that we're doing it, okay? So all these are gonna be seventh chords, and it's gonna sound like this. Okay, so these are basically all the chords you're ever gonna need in the key of G. A lot of these are gonna be movable, and the beautiful thing about this is your ring finger and your pinky are gonna be attached to the D and G strings. They never have to leave the string, and that's the point here, to kind of like get these kind of touchstones where you just plant these down and then have your other two fingers do the work. Because again, I remember starting out, be like, all right, having to go from here and then taking your hand off and like trying to like force another shape here took forever and it was difficult, right? No more. So the one chord in the key of G, G major 7 as it is. Again, let's start with your ring finger and your pinky on the 4th fret of the D and G string respectively. Again, you can just plant here. This is it. This is the point of the entire lesson. Now your middle finger is going to line up with the 3rd fret on the B string, and your pointer finger is going to grab the root note G, 3rd fret of the E string. Now I'm playing this finger style, so I'm just kind of really grabbing the E, D, G, and B strings with my hand. Use with the pick, doesn't matter. Rocking out the Ernie Ball St. Vincent today. Now, we're gonna go to the next chord in the chord scale, okay? This is gonna be an A minor. We're gonna make it a different type of A minor voicing, like this. All you have to do is take your ring finger and pinky 1 fret higher. Now your middle finger is gonna grab the root note, which is the 5th fret on the low E string. This is an A. You can stop right here. You can just play these 3 strings, A, E, D, and G. That's an A minor 11. I like adding my pointer finger to the 3rd fret of the B string. A minor 11. This is A minor 7. This is A minor 11, right? So we have G major 7 to A minor, okay? Ring finger and pinky are doing the heavy lifting. These guys just kind of jump around, right? 1, 2. 3rd chord is just 2 frets higher. Now my middle finger is lined up with the 7th fret, so this is a B, indicative of a B minor 11, whatever. So 1, 2, 3. Next one, we're gonna go here. C major 7. Now we're going from the 7th fret to the 9th fret with those 2 fingers that we're just kind of keeping together the whole time, right? And then we make the same shape as we did on the G, right? So all you have to do is take your pointer finger to the 8th fret, root note for the C, and then your middle finger in line on the B string. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you can make this sound musical just with these 4 chords right here. You can go. Any way that you can kind of run around, all I'm doing is just moving my hand left and right along the fretboard, okay? The great thing about this is it forces you to actually kind of use good hand posture too. Like you'll notice my hand is pretty perpendicular to the fretboard. I'm not like reaching so much, which is kind of, you know, bad technique when you're starting out that you want to avoid, to put a lot of pressure on your wrists and stuff. So we're just moving along. The next one we're gonna do is right here. This is the first time that your ring finger and your pinky are actually going to be on different frets, but they're on the same string, okay? So we're going from the 8th fret, C major. Now, here's the next one, right here. So my middle finger's on 10, E. This is a D, this is D7. 10, 9A. What do we have? 10, D, and then 11, G. Okay, so now I just have like the lowest 4 strings. So you'll notice that these are separated by 1 fret. It's the only time we have to do this. I'm going from the C to here. Just practice this move, back and forth. Then we're gonna get to the 12th fret. They combine again for an E minor 11. Then we can keep going all the way. I would say when you get down here, just have the F sharp, 14th fret, 14, E, D, and G. If you want to, you got to grab the 13th fret on the B string, which is kind of difficult in this position. I think it's easier up here. This is going to be like a minor 7, flat 5 chord. And then we end up exactly where we started on G. Okay, so all together, 7 different chords. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 1 again, okay? And all that is by planting your ring finger and your pinky on the D and G string. You never have to have that leave the string. In fact, really, just I urge you strongly to think of these as numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's really going to help you out. We go into this in depth in the Masterclass I did, which I'll link you to. Again, super cheap. It's less than a half-hour private lesson would be, and it's got hours of stuff like this and backing tracks, everything like that too. So, again, think of these as numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 again. And then it'll be a lot easier for you down the road, okay? So now this is just the E string, reading stuff on the low E string. Now we're gonna switch over to a different key, the key of 2020, D, okay? Now, this is where we kind of break form with the 2 fingers on the same strings. We're just gonna focus on your ring finger here. So we're gonna start with the 1 chord in the middle of the neck. All right, so this is a D, major 7 chord, 5A, 7D, 6G, pinky, 7B, okay? Now your ring finger is gonna be the one that never leaves the string. We can make all the chords in this key right here with your ring finger just planted on the D string, all right? So let's just do the main chords. Let's skip to the 1, 4, and 5. 1, 4, 5, all right? D, G, A. We go from here, your ring finger slides back 2 frets, and then we staircase it to make this major triad. It's a G major chord, indicative of a G bar chord, right? So 5D, 4G, 3B, and then we can slide that 2 frets higher to get an A. So 1, 4, 5. Same chords as if you're in G. 1, 4, 5. 1, 4, 5. Again, millions of songs just use the 1, 4, and 5 chords in the key. You can really just kind of get creative with that. Now after that, let's go to the minor chords in this key, right? 1, 4, 5. Let's go 1, 6, 2, 3. All right, so watch this. We've got the 1 chord again right here. If we move your ring finger 2 frets down, now I'm on the 9th fret. I'm bringing my pointer finger over to bar the 7th fret. This is going to be B minor, okay? Again, indicative of maybe like a bigger minor chord. You can even grab that low E string if you want to kind of get a thicker sound. And then from here, we can keep your ring finger right there, drop your middle finger to the B string, so from here to here, and now it becomes B minor 7 to E minor 7. And then we just take that to F sharp minor 7. Okay? So the names of these chords aren't as important as knowing how they interact relative to each other, because I think that's what's going to be more important as far as changing chords in between keys, depending on what key you're in, what kind of song you're playing. But it's really important, I think, to know efficient ways to do this quickly without having to move your fingers around so much, especially when you're first starting out, beginner, intermediate level stuff. But you're never, you're never too good to know this stuff, for sure. So we've got 1, 4, 5, 1, the 6th chord, 2, 3. So again, the names of those chords are D, G, A, D, B minor, E minor, F sharp minor. For good measure, you're like, hey, I thought we were doing 7. Where's that C sharp? Oh, boom, right there, okay? So let's take that first chord we did, D major 7, move it 2 frets back, and then take the root note and raise it. That's going to give us a C sharp minor 7, flat 5 chord. These are all the chords you need to know in the key of D. 1, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 7. Doing them out of order like that, I think, is actually an efficient way to do it, which might be more indicative of how a song goes. Usually songs aren't like 1, 2, 3, 4. They kind of jump around a little bit, right? So it's also really good for your brain just to kind of see it as like numbers. Again, I've said it before, I'll say it again, cannot stress how important it is to learn chords as numbers within a key. All right. So we could do it in order. That's another good thing to do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And that's the cool thing about just having your ring finger just kind of plant around here. It makes you move in different ways that aren't as linear, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, stuff like that, right? Really seeing the fretboard in different ways and kind of like taking these shortcuts, I think, is a really important way to understanding just guitar in general. It'll help you with your lead playing too, believe it or not. But I want to just review everything that we did so far. So we've got 2 keys: the People's Key, the key of G, and the key of 2020, the key of D, right? So again, key of G, when I'm thinking of E string roots, your ring finger and your pinky can just chill right here on the D and G strings, connect them, never have them leave the fretboard. And again, you'll see that my hand is just moving, my arm is moving back and forth through the fretboard, right? So G, A minor, B minor, C, D, E minor, F sharp minor 7 flat 5, G. And again, I'm shortening the names of these because technically this is G major 7, A minor 11, B minor 11. But the point is, it's just like the 1, 4, and 5 chords are major, some type of major chord. The 2, 3, and 6 chords are minor, some type of minor chord. The voicings that you ultimately end up choosing are actually going to kind of give yourself a voice on a guitar. So again, the point isn't for you to play these like I'm playing them, because I usually play stuff as major 7 chords or minor 11 chords. That's just kind of like a sound that I've gravitated towards and I like. By no means do you have to keep that, you know what I mean? This is all about seeing it in a way that you can kind of manipulate it and make it sound the way that you want it to sound like. And again, that's why I don't really teach a lot of songs on my channel, because it's more about just kind of like teaching how to get around so you can play whatever songs you want to play, because that's the kind of guy I am, right? So there's the G chords, right? Skip around, do them straight. Maybe start thinking of the numbers that you like. Again, for my style, I kind of like playing heavy on the 4 chord, which people would consider the Lydian mode. So if I play all of these chords in the key of G, but I never play a G major chord, it'll have a certain type of sound, right? So something like that, whatever, messing around. And then on the A string, ring finger is the way to think of it. 1, 4, 5, 1, 6, 2, 3. So again, a lot of maneuvering going around today, but it's really just kind of finding different shortcuts that you can kind of build in to your chord voicings just to make things easier on yourself, right? Make it even more easier on yourself by signing up for that masterclass and following me on Instagram and Twitter and stuff, and having intelligent discourse with me everywhere we go. So thanks a lot for checking it out. And if you have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comment section. I'll talk to y'all soon. Thanks a lot.